Need some time.
screw this.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Take a break.
exactly. But this time I've been enjoying it a hell of a lot. So
Oh yeah, it's
yeah.
great.
And now I'm trying to make Ironball take a bath, but he won't come in. Come on, join me, man. Smell. Although Freddy, if you're watching, you don't smell. It's just your character. All right, so we're in a Western Approach, which is this big desert area. And I've been exploring a little bit. I've captured the keep in this area, and I found a dragon researcher who's trying to, I guess, observe a dragon, a high dragon in this area. And I've gone through a number of quests with this character so I can lure the dragon out. And right now I need to go and get a book. So if I go into my journal, which has quests for everything in here. So if you're not using the journal, you should, because a lot of people do just use the quest map, but the journal is obviously where all the information is. So a manuscript of some authority. Awesome. Most creative name ever. So,
Awesome fantasy names.
exactly right. So I just want to check my potions before I do this. So I've got Jar of Bees, of course, everyone's
Great.
favourite.
Yep.
I've got Dorian with me as well. What have I got? Lyrium potions, maybe. Replenish all of those. That'll do. Alright, let's go. So we're going to go to a dungeon today, specifically the Still Ruins, where this manuscript is located, I believe.
Yep.
Okay. And you designed this dungeon as well.
I did. Yes, I did.
In fact, did you design most of this area? The Western Approach?
No, I touched a little bit of the Western Approach. If we go towards the keep, I did some work in there, and then this dungeon, there's another dungeon later on I got to work on as well.
Okay. Yeah, one of the interesting things in this area is, particularly in this specific area of the Western Approach, so I'm going to bring up my map, and see I'm kind of like, around the sort of starting camp area, this is where I'm going. But, you know, I've been all over the place, and the dragon guy is up here, I believe, somewhere there. But anyway, this particular area has a lot of these sort of little ladders and platforms and stuff like that, so it's kind of interesting.
It's great for exploration.
Yeah, it's really cool. Don't hurt the little thing. Now, before we started, I called that little fox thing a Fenris, and then realised Fenris is a character from Dragon Age 2.
Yep.
I should know that, but whatever. Okay.
Thematically it works, right? Because he's being hunted. Or I guess now he's hunting the slavers.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was people after him as well, right? I think, yeah. So I'm playing as a mage knight enchanter, which is a lot of fun.
You got the ability where you use that. I forget what it's called, but it's basically lightsaber.
I haven't upgraded my Spirit Blade yet,
Okay.
but because I didn't know how worthwhile it would be. Like,
Sounds amazing.
yeah.
It really sounds amazing.
I did enjoy the quest to like the specialization quest, like crafting the hilt.
Yeah.
Very much lightsaber esque
exactly.
kind of thing. It actually reminded me of KOTOR. Okay. Every time I come down here, there is a bloody spider that comes out of this cave up here. I hate spiders. Anyway.
You're not alone in that, man.
Yeah. So this is the Still Ruins. There was a couple of Tevinter here initially, which I slaughtered.
Yeah, it looks a little cleared out.
Yeah. But I haven't broken through this barrier, so these barriers are kind of cool because they're sort of like, you know, you need to damage them with different abilities, or different elemental attacks, but
Yeah.
Now, Cam, for people who are completely new to RPGs, we have someone wondering what class and race combo you'd recommend for someone new to Dragon Age entirely and RPGs.
You know, it really depends on what sort of fantasy fulfillment you want, right? Like, that's the great thing about a game like Dragon Age, where you can be who you want to be. You know, you can create a character to either represent yourself, you know, as much as you can, or someone completely different. So, you know, I'm playing human male, obviously mage, but there's dwarves and elves and Qunari. So I think if you're looking for like a, I don't know, maybe like a really tough kind of character, you know, the Qunari, the big spawned
Yeah.
race, you know, sort of generally speaks to that kind of a warrior.
Giants, right?
Yeah, exactly. They're pretty badass. You know, like if you look at Iron Bull here, I mean, he's this massive, badass warrior guy with a eye patch and MC hammer pants. Okay.
Personally, I think if you get to play as a... Okay, so my recommendation for the easiest class, but it's also a lot of fun, is that if you play a sword and shield warrior, they got a great ability that is just shield wall.
Yeah.
And basically, whenever you take hits with the shield wall up, it builds up guard, and I think that will make it a lot more approachable or accessible for a lot of players.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's an early ability. I think you even start with it.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, I've crafted some armor for my mage, which has, using one of the mastercraft items. You can see that yellow one there, which I had. Oh, hang on. Yeah. So on hit, I gain 5 guard. So I'm kind of like blasting through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
That's actually really great. I should build that.
Yeah. All right, into the dungeon. So what's the sort of backstory of this, of the Still Ruins?
Man. So we got to write some pretty great stuff here. Working with the writers, we came up with the backstory that if we go way back to the Tevinter Imperium, they were doing all sorts of blood magic research, and in this one particular area, they were trying to harness the Fade, because we all know that the Tevinters had gone into the Fade, and that's what created the Blights and all that. So they were trying to do another experiment here, and they had a failsafe, and because they knew it was potentially dangerous. So they opened up this hole into the Fade, and all these demons came out, and then their failsafe was to start this other spell that would stop time and basically contain this.
Okay.
So that this breach didn't spill out into the rest of the world.
Okay. And there's some live Tevinter, or Venatori, which is one of the cults of Tevinter in here. So there's a common theme in the Western Approach, and even across the whole game, where the Venatori are looking for artifacts of power and things like that.
Exactly.
So they're kind of like, almost like grave robbers, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah, or like in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, right?
Yeah, the Nazis.
Exactly.
You're saying that Venatori are Nazis?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they are looking for artifacts.
Yeah.
But so anyway, so they've heard that of the backstory of this area, and they're coming out to see if they could harness that spell or whatever.
Yeah, it's cool. So you can see these frozen, I guess, Venatori or Tevinter, and then, you know, the demons that are coming through.
Yeah, locked in combat.
Yeah, exactly. The roof's kind of collapsing in and frozen in time, which is really neat. So this is actually a really great area to capture screenshots. So because of stuff like this, you know, it's so well posed.
Yeah.
You go, yeah. Let's look. Oops. Yeah, now I'm in combat. I think I'm a little high level for this area, but we'll see.
What level are you?
I think I'm level 14.
14? Oh, you're right in the sweet spot. It was designed for 12 to 15 then.
Cool. There's always, you know, chests and interesting things to loot in here, but... Okay, so we've got frozen time going on. Let's jump up here and have a look what's going on. There's one of the rifts.
You're shitting me. You're sure these demons aren't moving?
I love Bull.
Oh man, he's great.
Frozen? I don't think this was the Venatori.
No. I'd say some ancient Tevinter decided to alter time. I'm surprised it didn't go better.
Ah, Dorian. Okay. Should we go ground? That poor guy.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite ones to place, just in the air like that. I had a couple people say they found him, and they're like, "Oh
Yeah.
man, so cool."
Okay, so locked door. I'm not sure whether this is a Mastercraft one. I have got.
It is, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I got the perk for allow my rogues to unlock the.
What is it? Fine tools, deft hands, or
Yeah.
vice versa.
Yeah. I've got Barrack here with me.
Very nice.
All of silence.
This is one of my favorite things to add in the game was when we knew we'd have one of those master lock doors, or that's what we called them in dev, and it was just master lock doors. But the ones that you need fine tools, deft hands. Is we get to put these nice exploration areas. Basically, anytime we know that we can reward the player for exploration, it's always just a really great feeling, right? And we just put as much loot as we can, some good loot.
Yeah,
And,
and that's definitely a major theme of the game, right? Is that sort of discovery of things and exploring this sort of big world. So this is cool. This is Tevinter banner. So this is a banner which I can now use in Skyhold to hang particular, like the Tevinter, I guess, logo.
Yeah. Kind of their symbol, which I think is like 3 intertwined snakes.
Yeah. I do love Tevinter. Oh, there it is.
Or maybe it's that one, yeah.
Yeah, 2.
2.
Yeah. Okay. So, for those of you who maybe just be joining us, we're kind of exploring a dungeon today. The game's out now, and we have an opportunity to show you parts of the game which we wouldn't have shown pre-launch, just because of spoilers, and we want to leave a lot of surprises for people. So, we are exploring this place called the Still Ruins, which is in the Western Approach, and driving Varric at the moment. But my main character is a human mage.
Yep.
Knight Enchanter specialization. So we're just exploring through here, looking at different schematics as well. I haven't found a tier 3 Mastercraft schematic yet, I don't think, but...
Yeah, those I think you need to be higher level. They'll come later in the game.
Okay. And this dungeon, the Still Ruins, is basically kind of like a research lab, which the Tevinter were experimenting with the Fade, and they had this sort of... that's cool.
Yeah.
So Mastercraft items, so 3 of them as well.
Yeah, your own must have snuck that in.
Good work, your own.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I went to your own, after playing this particular character all weekend, I was trying to find particular items. And I gotta say, it's really handy when you can just walk up to the guy who did all the itemization in the game and just go, "So dude, where do I find an item like this?" And it definitely helps. What's pinging me?
I think there's a mosaic piece somewhere around there. It might be a little... It might not stand out super well against the sand. Try walking. There it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so there's mosaic pieces as well, just a small kind of collection thing. There's tons of them in the game, and you can take them back to Skyhold to a dwarf there, and he can help you work out what's going on. Okay. So yeah, this dungeon, as I mentioned, they were experimenting with the Fade, and then they had this sort of backup plan, which is to freeze time if things went to shit, which it clearly did. There's all these frozen demons battling Tevinter.
It's basically a snapshot from thousands of years ago when Tevinter was at its height.
Yeah, and the roofs caving in and stuff like that. And that's the cool thing with the Tevinter. There's so much history and ruins that you can explore and discover in the game.
Texts describe a chamber. This must be it.
And we found some Venatori in here as well, who are kind of like talking to my character. Yeah.
There's a few people that think that with that camera.
I'm having a lot of fun. I've read some stuff about like Knight Enchanters, Stolen Dragons, and stuff like that. I haven't done any of that, but I can certainly imagine you could. It's a pretty cool class.
You've stolen the dragon?
No,
Knight Enchanter?
I haven't. But I know some people have.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah. Because the barrier builds up on hits, right? And
That's amazing. You gotta love our fans, eh? They always find these ways to do these things.
yeah. Oh. And I'll probably die after people going, "It's so OP." And that'll just reinforce how shit I am. But now I need to pick up these stones, right? Like, they're going to help me get through the door.
There's another one back there. Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Canis's drop.
Okay.
He was carrying the stone for a reason. The markings on it. I've heard of keystones that bear the same.
Keep searching. There may be more.
And the other reason why I'm here is I'm looking for a manuscript to help me lure out a high dragon in the Western Approach.
That's right, yeah. You know, interesting little anecdote. The boss you just killed, or mini boss,
Yeah.
his name was Lucanus, and years ago,
Come on, just answer the question, Barry.
My mother didn't raise any morons, Sparkler. I won't touch that one.
You must have an
Well, we
opinion.
just-
And you're a
one of
dwarf,
the-
completely unbiased.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it was nice to finally get that name in here. It was like a cool little throwback.
There's no way I'm answering which Inquisition mage is the best dressed.
Oh, yeah.
Not for all the golden Orzammar.
That's the manuscript. So now there's Balefire. So you can use these this Balefire to find hidden runes, which I believe are kind of like recipes for some of the enchantment runes, right? For your weapons and armor. So
Yeah, exactly.
if I can find that, then that would be cool.
I can tell you where it is too, or I can just let you try and find it and enjoy you not finding it.
Okay, let's go with the second option.
Yeah.
Okay, this is badass. Frozen in time, this poor guy. I love it.
Yeah. That one was tricky. Like, we had to find a spot where it stood out that it was falling, where it didn't blend into the shadow or anything, and we finally ended up in that spot. I think it worked well, but we tried probably 5 or 6 different spots first.
It's amazing. I mean, you know, going through the dev on all of this, it's amazing how much iteration goes on into these dungeons, and I mean, every part of the game, really.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many reviews of the different dungeons that we were creating, and you know, you would have got feedback and incorporate it,
Exactly,
and then
yeah.
come back and do some more. So. Okay, so I've got all of those, which is cool. There's always research notes. I mean, that's another cool thing if you're into reading all this different lore and backstory and stuff, because you know people put a lot of time into creating these interesting scenarios and worlds and backstories. So
Yeah, there's a lot of discussion, just sitting with the artists, with the writers, the producers, and just planning everything out, every detail, trying to make sure everything fits.
yeah,
I love that effect.
it is really cool, right? There's a bigger version of that door in Redcliffe Castle, I think.
Is this what they were after? I'd be careful
Yes.
with that if I were you.
I didn't know it was bigger though. It might be.
Oh, maybe
I've never
it's-
seen them side by side, right? So
Oh yeah, yeah.
that's actually what I just beat the other day was the Redcliffe Castle. That's really good too.
Yeah.
Get rid of that payback strike. I don't think you have anybody in your party that uses that, or mighty blow. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a bit of a hoarder, I've got to say.
Oh man, this is my 3rd playthrough of the game now, and it took me till halfway through my 2nd playthrough to stop hoarding.
Yeah.
There's that perk too, right? That'll allow you to carry more stuff. Have you gotten that, or
I haven't got that. Yeah, that's an Inquisition perk, right?
yeah?
Yeah.
I think it's in the yeah, it's in the Inquisition tree.
Yeah. Okay, I'm a major on that. There you go.
Ah, you found it.
Yeah. That one's really obvious. There's some that are so hard to find. I was looking at there's one in Storm Coast in the waterfalls
Okay.
at the end of the river.
I haven't found it.
And there's this massive cave there. It's a gorgeous looking cave. It's really quite large, and trying to find the rune in there, I just can't bloody find it.
So before you take this staff,
Yeah.
you can tell that there's something kind of ominous about it, right?
Yeah, it's badass. It's bleeding blood everywhere into the air, which is cool. Okay. So when you say ominous, do you mean the stuff itself? or...
Something might happen if you take it.
Alright, I'm taking it. Ow.
I think time's flowing again.
That's not what I wanted to hear.
Come on, Varric, man up. Right. Look.
Varric's great. I mean, when I played through Dragon Age 2, the Hawk that I played just did not get along with Varric. And to play now a new character who can get along with Varric,
Yeah.
it's just really great to have that kind of
Difference, yeah.
see both sides of Varric.
Yeah, I'm enjoying Varric a lot this time, actually. Okay, that's pretty cool stuff. Who doesn't want a staff that's topped with a skull, really?
I know. It looks great.
Right.
Remember, you still have those chests to loot as well, eh?
Yep. Did I grab it all? Yep. Okay. Do like, yeah, I was just thinking that Dorian's horror spell is pretty cool. So, any other questions from the forums, Connell? Or are you not paying attention? Come on, Connell. Connell's back there. He's looking at the chat, so maybe he'll find us a question. Okay, yeah, that staff's really cool. I like this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of strange when you develop these levels and you know what the rewards are.
Yeah.
Now I tend to just I beeline straight for this area.
Yeah.
Go right for it, just get that staff, and then go and play the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Hurry, before this gets worse.
Worse than this?
Yeah, Bull really doesn't like demons. God, I hate these bloody things. Die in a fire.